This is the Live Well and Thrive podcast, hosted by Michael Torchia, health and wellness expert. It's time to shape up, America.
Hi, this is Mike Torchia, and welcome to Live Well and Thrive. I got a very special guest. His name is Wicked Rich. I have seen him at every event from Beverly Hills to Hollywood. He is a very talented musician. He's from Brooklyn, and he's had a hell of a journey, and he just has a great story to share. He has been on stage with Ozzy Osbourne and many other rockers, and he's an actor, he's a producer, he's a philanthropist, and most of all, he's a patriot. He's a good guy, and that's why I welcomed him to the show, and he's been my friend, and anything I could do for you, Wicked, to support your causes, I'm here for you, brother. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much, Wicked Witch. Let's go.
So share with the audience a little bit about who you are.
Well, originally I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Coney Island, and, I love basketball, I love drawing, and I definitely love music. Love music.
Now, you shared in conversation we had the other day that your father instilled in you to work hard, to earn, to be a productive human being. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing with your dad and just how it's affected you. His inspirational words has changed your life and how it's helping you on that path to succeed.
Well, being from Brooklyn, New York, I grew up rough. I lost my dad back in 2005.
Oh, sorry.
And it's like as soon as I started doing a lot with music, that's when he passed away. But, my dad, he's a straight Brooklyn dude, like straight up. And just growing up, I went through a lot. I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and it was rough at times. I didn't even have no lights on. The heat wasn't even on. I mean, I lived in numerous places, and my dad was always there, helping us out. He definitely taught me how to be tough, to be out there. Don't ever let nobody try to disrespect me, play me. And, just one thing about my dad, he was just drinking a lot. Drinking a lot. But, I mean, he was the best dad ever, to all of us. But, it was just one thing. He used to drink a lot, and that's how I lost him. I used to drink. I know this is gonna have people like, what? Wicked Witch don't drink no more? I mean, it's been years. So I learned off of my dad, and I was just like, you know what? I have to be healthy and things like that, and I'm gonna definitely do it for him.
That's so beautiful, because from the streets to now.
Right.
Hollywood path, the stars. It's amazing. There's kids out there that are watching the show, will be inspired because maybe they don't have a wealthy family. Maybe they don't have a dad that was inspirational and positive or mom. With you took that little bit of guidance your dad gave you in between drinking, of course, right?
Yeah.
And having some clarity. And went a long way with it.
Definitely.
And you're on that path. See, I like having someone like you that's on that path because you will succeed. Listen, I know Madonna when she was working out at Pumping Iron Gym and just bodybuilding and bringing her CDs, in those days, cassette tapes actually, and giving it to DJs to play her music. And you remind me of her. She was just so empowered and knew she would succeed. It's just a matter of time. And when you have that empowered feeling, you can achieve anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a superpower, right?
Most definitely.
And what are some of the artists you've been on the stage with?
Oh, man. Ozzy Osbourne. I have music with, artists in Korn. I'm in the process of working with other artists. I ain't giving y'all no props now because I ain't do the song yet. but I mean, it's a lot of artists out there, that just show me a lot of support. It was a point I was around Jeff Beck and Wilson, Paul Rogers. I was actually sitting around all 3 of them, and they looking at me like, all right, this is the next rocker right here. So I got a lot of advice from Jeff Beck, rest in peace to him, and Wilson was there. I don't know what was going on, but that day, shout out to Ann Wilson, but I don't know what was going on with her and her sister.
Right.
But that day was kind of like, whoa, they can't even, it was wild. I don't know. Shout out her sister too, but I don't think they get along. And Paul Rogers, he definitely taught me a lot, as far as the industry. Ozzy Osbourne showed me a lot of love, had me on stage with him. You know, he showed me to a lot of people. Rob Zombie was there, Marilyn Manson, Body Count. And while I'm on stage, you know, I'm just looking around, not even understanding that Ozzy is behind me with a water hose. So I look this way, boom, he just sprayed me down.
Wow.
Sprayed me down with a water hose, and that's how Wicked Witch came into play.
I was going to ask you how that name came about.
Oh, yeah, Ozzy Osbourne had me on stage with him.
And he gave you that name?
Nah, it just happened.
Wow.
I'm on stage, and it's like, Wicked Witch, Wicked Witch, Wicked. And I'm like, I'm Wicked Witch? Like, it happened just like that.
Yeah, because with the water, it kills the witch, yeah. No, I get it, man. Just think about it. When you're a little kid, did you ever think you'd be working with these kind of mega stars?
I mean, I had a feeling, because see, you know, like I was explaining to you earlier, I'm really good and known for playing basketball in New York. Like, everybody know me for playing basketball. So I had a lot of dreams of going to the NBA. And, you know, of course, you know, things just went another way. And that's when, boom, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be focused on my music and, you know, just take it from there. Writing every day. I went through a lot, too, you know, as far as music. And then that's when, you know, I came to California, got introduced to a lot of people, got introduced to Ozzy, had me on stage, and then, boom, Wicked Witch.
Wow. Well, I remember the first day I met you, Chuck Zito and I were at Richie Palmer's, Mulberry Street Pizzeria, Cannon. And he said, come on, Mike, there's the Trump rally off of Santa Monica. Let's go. So we walked up to the corner, and there you were, out there, cheering everybody on, loving everybody, showing your brotherhood, that, hey, I'm here, we support Donald Trump. And I just loved your enthusiasm. And even when people were driving and cursing you out, and cursing all of us out, you didn't care.
Nah.
That's okay. You just bounced off you. You had this energy. And then after that, frequently seeing you at different events and premieres and parties and so on, all I would hear is beautiful things about you. I've never heard anybody say anything negative, but you are one of the best guys, and you're a patriot.
Thank you.
You're supportive of people that are going to make change in our country.
Definitely.
And you'll fight for them.
Oh, yeah,
Tooth
I
and nail.
definitely will.
You know? And let me tell you something. So if you had some kind of way to have prevented the fires, what would you have done?
Oh, man, to prevent the fire?
Yeah, what would you have done? If you, say you were the mayor, what would you have done?
I would have been more focused on, like, if I was the people, to be honest with you, I would have been more focused on them not dissing Republicans.
Well,
if I was them.
Right.
But the powers, I mean, things happen for a reason, though. You know, things really happen for a reason. I mean, it's real messed up what happened out there. You know, I send my condolences to all of the families. But at the same time, like, when you think about it, it's like, why did that really happen?
Well, listen, in my opinion, we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
Our city elected officials didn't prepare properly.
Yeah.
Even though there was reports that we were going to have horrible winds, really strong winds. Mayor Bass still chose to go to Africa for that award. And when she was running for office, she said, I'll never leave the country. I always be here for the city of Los Angeles. Well, she broke her word. She should have been here sooner, and she should have had things in place. I also know that I spoke to a fireman, and I asked him, I said, what happened? And he told me there was several things that happened. First of all, we weren't prepared. We weren't prepared to address such a horrific fire. The winds were horrible because you can't fly helicopters in those 80 or 100 mile an hour winds. So you had to rely on, the manpower and the water hoses and so on, and the workers with the hose to break up the brush areas to stop the fire from spreading. But one of the biggest things was there was very little water pressure, and that all the fire districts have been saying to the mayor, to the governor, we need to update the water system
Mm-hmm.
because it draws
Yeah.
from one big source.
Mm-hmm.
So when there was so many areas hit with the fires because of the winds, there was very little pressure to fight the fire. That's why it really ravaged Palisades and Malibu because they had very little water power. Then on top of it, there's hundreds of firefighting equipment at the fire department salvage lot. Huge bulldozers and fire trucks and other things, cranes that they use to fight fires. And they've been asking the mayor for the money to repair that so they have it in case there's an emergency, which they didn't do. So it was accumulation of not updating the water system, not repairing the equipment that is damaged. Also, they've been having the issue with the fire chief because she wanted to hire more women to be in the fire department. But the problem is the men have more strength, especially upper body strength, to be able to carry a 200-pound person down a ladder and so on. And I have no problem with a woman working to a certain point unless she has a physicality. Now, some women do, but if you start halting the amount of men hired because you want equal rights, not when they're first responders. As long as they can physically pass that test, of course they should be in the fire department. If they can't, then give them a desk job or something else that doesn't rely on their physicality. So with all that disruption, there's multiple reasons why we had so much destruction. And I think also, too, they always have all these protocols for go bags if there's a earthquake, but they didn't have the go bags for the extreme fires. People weren't prepared. That's why all this shit happened, because if people were prepared, they would have had their go bag.
Oh, yeah.
They would have made sure that if there is a fire, they can get their things, get out of the house, get their pets out of there safely, where to go.
And that's
Right?
But that's why it happened, because they wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
And that's how you get at people when they not prepared. Because I look at it like, okay, we got the best president that ever walked the planet. He's about to come back in, right? So they like, all right, we know Trump is about to come back in. Let's leave him off with something. That's how I'm looking at it. And plus, look at the people that's around the area. It's so unfortunate because they didn't know it was going to happen. But then you have people in the back end that's like, you know what? We're going to take Malibu and we're going to switch it up. Because I'm pretty sure you know about Smart City. So they just basically like, you never know what they're going to do. They might just take, everything is gone now. And next, it might be casinos out there. It might be more room for filming. That's what I think was really going on, to be honest. But it's really unfortunate for the people because a lot of people don't have nowhere to go. Then we have amazing people like you that's doing so much for the people out there and that's coming up with a lot of different things to help people out there. But it's a lot of people that's not really doing that.
No, it's unfortunate.
It's real messed up.
Well,
I see that part too.
I have seen a huge amount of human kindness.
Oh, definitely.
I've been watching. People have been calling me, texting me, just reaching out to make sure I'm okay. I've reached out to my friends and family to help them, and I actually been helping people get blankets and water and pet food and baby formula because everything was gone. So, and I think a lot of people are numb. But I kind of relate this to my way I live my life being in health and fitness. That if you say, for instance, wait till you have that warning, like that slight stroke or that test that says your blood pressure is dangerously high, or you're starting to have arrhythmia with your heart, it's a lot harder to handle it. So if you prepare as you age, that you grow old gracefully and maintain a healthy life, meaning every 6 months, get a physical and get your blood work done to track what's going on with your blood pressure, for any deficiencies, hormone levels, etc., liver, enzyme, kidney count to see if there's any inflammation in your organs. This way you're prepared. So if you see on onset of an issue developing, you can address it immediately. Same thing with the fires out here. Same thing with the earthquakes. We need to be prepared and constantly testing and making sure that houses are retrofitted for, say, water pumps or other things, or there's a tank there, so in case there's a fire, firemen can use it, or yourself can prep it. Now, why I lead it to this point is I have a very dear friend. He's a very, very well-known doctor, and he sent me a picture. He goes, Michael, I built this beautiful house, and I was in the pathway of the fires in Malibu. Every house in my neighborhood was burnt down but mine. And he said, you know what I did? I did everything I can to make sure there was any dead shrubbery on my property and surrounding. He had a heavy-duty pump and hose, commercial-grade hose. So as soon as they got word that the fire was spreading, every hour he was out there soaking his home, soaking the surrounding shrubbery, and he saved his house. He goes, I was told to evacuate. I said, fuck no, I'm not leaving. And he saved that beautiful home. And because he was prepared, because he goes, I know, living in Malibu, there's fires, and there's mudslides, and all these other horrible things. Because remember, after the fires, and then when it rains, there's all that mudslides, all the havoc, right? Especially on the PCH. So here's a man. He's very much well into fitness, and he said, Mike, I took the same focus I did towards my health to prevent any kind of ailments later on in life with my home. I protected my home and had protocols in place that if there's a fire, this is what I did. I had all my gold bags ready and everything with pertinent documents and jewelry and things for my wife and so on. But we were prepared. That's why this man is thriving. He has his home. No one has died in his family. He was prepared. So I think what we have to do after all the dust settles now is help citizens be prepared for any natural catastrophe. Not just the fires, but anything for earthquakes and anything that could happen to us out here. And that's why I relate back to Live Well and Thrive. It's to help prepare people for life in every way. So I think that if we all work together and inspire people, but like with your journey, I mean, from coming to the streets of Brooklyn and had a father who was an alcoholic and himself self-destructed, you learn from him. You don't want to go that path.
Nah.
You stopped drinking. You took care of yourself. And that's why you're thriving, you're happy, you're glowing, you're positive, and you're going to continue to succeed is because you're preparing yourself for life,
and it makes
for your
me feel
journey.
good, too.
Right?
It makes
You
me
learn
feel
from your
good.
mistakes.
Yeah, I learned from my mistake. I'm actually someone that actually learned from their mistakes. A lot of people out there, they'll see certain things happen, and they don't even learn from their mistake. They don't even understand like what's going on. But then as far as like, you know, the fire situation, I just look at it like a lot of people been living there 30 plus years or longer. It's like, do you think they're going to try to rebuild their home there? They're not going to do that. I just look at it like it just really pushed everybody out of the way. So whoever that did that, they could just do what they have to do. Whatever they want to do, you know, because they wasn't prepared. And that's the best way how to get at your enemy, too, when they not prepared.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is, you know, you have a home, whether it's the Palisades or Altadena, whatever it is. You really want to rebuild in that same area?
They ain't going to do it.
You know, that's how I look at it. Like, I wouldn't do it. I'd say, okay, where are the most likely safer places to live? In Los Angeles, that wouldn't be in the pathway if there are fires. Nothing's perfect, but to rebuild your house after it was completely destroyed, you're just going to set yourself up for hopefully not a failure again. So I would probably want to start fresh, and I'd like to know that the fire department there is on point. I would check the fire department in my community. If I was going to move, I would make sure that they have ass-kicking fire department.
I mean, you had the Africans that just came out here, right? Look what happened when they came out here. They're asking for smog tests. So it's so much things that's in the way to, you know, to prevent them to help everyone.
Yeah. And listen, I know that the politicians now, they realize they messed up. And they're trying to correct it. But unfortunately, it's after the damage is done.
It's too late.
But I just want people to be aware that when electing officials that are going to have the power that could oversee our lives, our safety, you got to do your due diligence. You've got to really do your research and read
You have to.
what their plan is.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
Policies. People just looking at Trump. Oh, Trump is a racist. Show me a video where he's just being a crazy racist. And I want to know how everybody friend is at the same time too. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody have a friend that say all type of things out there. But people were still cool with them. But then when it comes to Trump, they look at me like, Wicked Witch, like, oh, you just a Trump supporter. Come on, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. New Jersey is right there. I had to go to the, being in the school board, we had to learn about the Empire State Building. We had to learn about the Statue of Liberty. And we had to go to New Jersey to go to the Trump Plaza. You know,
Yeah.
I'm out there chilling in Atlantic City, having a real good time. I'm seeing Trump giving back to the hood where I'm from. Trump been giving back to all of the artists that's out there. I mean, he's like signing bills to where artists can get money. I mean, come on. Like, and people want to vote for Kamala, whatever her name is. You know, she's out there making black people look crazy, trying to talk like slavery. Well, you know, vote for me. I mean, people picked up on that. They're like, man, we ain't voting for this lady. She's out of her mind.
Well,
like,
you know her house burnt down. It did. It burnt down here, right? So maybe that sting in the ass make them think that no one's safe.
for real.
Right?
No one
you
is
know,
safe.
comes
Yeah.
down to because maybe, because she showboated. Of course, people saw she was shallow and she didn't have what it took to be
She
president.
don't.
But
They
maybe,
didn't even
just
vote for
maybe,
her.
she'll be humanized now because she lost her home like many other people
Yeah,
did.
that-
And it's heartbreaking. You
Yeah,
know,
it
I don't wish
is.
the worst on
No, I
anybody,
wouldn't wish
right?
that on no one,
You know,
but
I just think that collectively we need to take charge of our own lives.
Definitely.
And if people aren't going to start making the officials making a change, we need to make the change.
Yeah,
And we can pull together. We can create some kind of neighborhood, organization which will make sure that the fire department is prepared. And let's find out about the water system. What do we need to do to get a proper water system so if there are multiple fires, that the water pressure will be enough to put out the fires?
So, insurance. Oh, I mean, it's so
But
much.
with the insurance, nothing you can do with that, man.
It's like,
They're going to give you what they think you deserve.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I saw so many people, they pointed out that, Mike, I just built this house. And guess what? The bank don't care. It's burnt down.
Nobody don't
They
care.
got to make their payment. Then they went to rent a house for now, and the fees for rentals are skyrocketing.
skyrocketing.
So, of
right
course,
now.
now they're trying to pass a bill that if you raise it above this much, but by the time they put that as
gonna
a
be
law or a rule, whatever, it's going to take a while.
It's gonna be
right.
a while.
So people are going to take advantage of any kind of situation where people need things desperately, and that's what I hate. Now, I have a lot of my friends. I've welcomed my home for people to stay, and I've gotten things, but that's how I am. That's how I was brought up. But I think there's a lot of the people that are unscrupulous, like the people pretending to be firemen and robbing homes. I mean, come
That's why
on.
you got to be careful, man. You know, people do things for a reason. It's like, listen, I mean, we have good hearts, but at the same time, we might have to help people at a distance.
Yeah.
You know, bringing people in your home is good, but just like what you just said, you don't even know who they are. You know, people is really messed up out there, just like with me. Anytime you see me, I mean, it's just us. You know,
Yeah.
it's just me, Chuck Zito, Claudio. You know, it's just us
Yeah,
out
the crew,
there.
yeah.
Just the crew. You ain't going to see me with nobody else. I don't trust people
is
like
it
that.
there? You mentioned you're doing some TV show you're coming out
Oh,
with.
man, I've been filming like crazy, man.
Well, tell the audience
I'm
a
a
little bit about what
walking
you're doing, man.
NDA right now. Like, I'm a walking NDA, but let me see.
What can you say?
I know, right?
What is it? It's a TV series?
I mean, it's series, movies.
Wow.
I was just on Jubilee. I was on Kai Cenat, Day 17, Mafiathon 2. Shout out Kai Cenat, man. I'm up there with the rock stars. Day 17, y'all. So check that out. And, I'm a cast member on Jubilee, so I'm up there making the Democrats look crazy, holding it down for Trump,
Yeah,
and,
very cool.
I just did a commercial with Nintendo, with Universal Studios.
That's
just
great.
did that. I mean, I be forgetting a lot of stuff that I did. It's like, oh, yeah,
Well,
I did
that's
that.
good for you, man. Well,
Like,
you
I
know
did
what?
that.
You have to come back on.
Definitely.
And when you're able to talk about the specific projects, and this way we can
Yeah.
promote it and the viewers can see all the cool things you're doing, man.
Definitely.
And I want to thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, man. We're going to be doing a lot.
Definitely.
A lot more in the future
Look
because
forward
you're the
to
kind of
it.
person I want in my circle.
Definitely.
You know, friends for life, man.
Definitely. Be friends for life. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you for watching. You have anybody you care about, send this episode, share it to your friends. It'll inspire them to see a person that came from the streets of Brooklyn to now the streets of Beverly Hills, succeeding, inspiring, and most of all, being a very patriotic human being. So thank you.